in Milpitas. I've been coming at you every Wednesday for almost 20 years, and I'm not going to stop now. You're saying to yourself, because there's no new comics. How can you bring us a new comic video? Well, there's thousands and thousands of comics that are new to you, and I'm bringing them at you this week just like I do every other week. I got 100 examples of things that you can be doing right now to be enjoying comics while you're in this hiatus, while you're in your shelter-in-place downtime. You know, every week when I do this video, I'm talking up all kinds of books from all the different publishers. And basically what I'm trying to do is get folks to try something new. We're all established readers, even us new folks. We all have the things that we like, the things that we follow. And I'm always encouraging you to get out of your very comfortable place of being and try something new, fun, and exciting. There's always something new, fun, and exciting going on in comics. So this week, we're going to talk about the wide range of things that you could be getting into. Let's start with just the things from last week. You know, I always like to talk up action, detective, and Wonder Woman, the trinity of comics. Last week we got Amazing Spider-Man, X-Men, Wolverine, some of the biggest titles that have always been around, and it's always been the case that you can grab the latest issue of a book, check it out. If that issue of Amazing Spider-Man blows you away, then keep reading the book. If it really blows you away, then pick up some of those previous issues and keep on going. That's what comics has always been about. So it's a great time to be trying, if you're a Marvel guy, pick up a DC book. If you're a DC guy, pick up a Marvel book. And of course, there's always the independent stuff. One of the things I'm talking about in the newsletter this week is X-O Man-O-War #1. This is such a great example of what I'm talking about. You pick up this new #1, maybe you don't know X-O, maybe you don't know Valiant books, but you read this, it totally changes your life. You can go back and read the previous modern Valiant stuff. You can go back and read the old school Valiant stuff. You can keep on reading this one. You can read the X-O stuff in Black Cat packs. You can read it in trade paperbacks. And you're turned on to a whole new universe of new characters, new writers, new creators, all that great stuff. You know, when we all came into comics, maybe you didn't have too many favorite characters. You didn't know a lot of artists. You didn't know a lot of writers. You were new to this whole thing. And now you have hundreds of favorite writers and hundreds of favorite artists. And now is a really great opportunity to kind of start all over again, finding some new writers, some new artists, new characters, new publishers, new titles, all that great stuff. If you're somebody that's 100 years old like me, there's still a whole bunch of things you can do. You can go back and pick up some of these classic trade paperbacks. This is Marvel Epic Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1. This book belongs in anybody's collection. Great for kids, great for old folks like me. All the original origin stories, some super awesome Stan Lee Ditko stuff. You get into any multiple era of Wonder Woman. This is Golden Age Volume 1. This is George Perez Volume 1 from the 1980s. All-time great stuff. There's a never-ending list of Batman books like Batman Year One, the all-time classic. Batman White Knight, which is getting a lot of traction these days. Dark Knight True Batman story from Paul Dini, one of the most unique graphic novel experiences you're ever going to have in your life. There's all the all-time great stuff like Sandman that everybody loves. There's all the event books, you know, modern stuff, old school stuff like Secret Wars, the original Secret Wars, the modern Secret Wars. Maybe you let one of those Marvel events get by you. Maybe you let something big from DC get by you, like War of Realms or something like that. Go back and pick up one of those. Maybe you never read Swamp Thing. Pick up some Swamp Thing. That's some all-time great stuff. Both of the big two do a whole bunch of reprint stuff. I love Marvel Tales. Pick out your favorite character from Marvel Tales, and you can read some old school stories, some new school stories. You can pick up the True Believers for just $1. Marvel and DC and Image all do dollar comics, so you can pick up a whole bunch of great reading on the cheap. Again, classic stuff, modern stuff. They do the facsimiles, so you can pick up the first appearance of Wolverine for just a modern cover price of $3.99. Lots and lots of stuff. You can pick up some old vintage comics. Like I say, vintage comics, modern comics, indie books, books you're not currently reading, miniseries that you missed, event books that you missed. There's tons and tons of stuff out there. You can go to black-cat-comics.com, click on any of the sections that would appeal to you, go through all those pages, pick up something awesome. We're putting new stuff up on the site every day. There's already tons and tons of stuff up there. Lots of things to choose from. So don't let the lack of brand new issues of new comics thwart you or bum you out. Like I say, there's decades and decades of material out there that you would really love to get into. My store is packed with stuff you haven't read. Every comic store in the country is packed with stuff you haven't read. So use this as an opportunity to catch up on the stuff that you have, organize the stuff that you have, and dive into a whole new universe. Get out there and explore Dynamite and Image and Dark Horse and all those other guys. Like I say, there's just tons and tons of new comics out there for you to check out. So go to black-cat-comics.com, check out all the cool stuff that we have there, and turn yourself on to something new, fun, and exciting. You got any questions, need some recommendations or anything like that, feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email. Even in these down times, Black Hat Comics is still your one-stop shop for all things superhero. So, like I say, get to black-cat-comics.com, pick up something fun to read. And make sure you tune back in Saturday, 2 o'clock. We're going to be coming at you live with Comic Shop Talk. We know that you miss hanging out in the shop with your fellow cats and kittens. We miss hanging out with our fellow cats and kittens. So tune in at 2 p.m. Facebook Live and let's talk some comics. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.